Hey guys, David here, Breeze Flippers. I'm back. This is almost starting to feel like a daily vlog. I don't mean it to be, but it's starting to feel like one. But that's okay. Had a lot of stuff to talk about. I did talk about it yesterday. I said that I was going to be putting out a video and just kind of show you guys my photo setup that I'm working on. It's not perfected yet, and I'll tell you why when I get over there. But and you'll kind of see it. But it's working decent. I did a lot of photos this weekend with it, but I made some tweaks to it yesterday and actually purchased some stuff from Lowe's to make it a little bit more professional looking. So anyway, we'll take a look at it here in just a minute. But I thought I'd go over real quick what sold. I actually do have a few sales going out. Apparently I'm becoming a game seller again because I made that big game buy. So I've got some games that are starting to move. It's kind of funny because like I wasn't selling a lot of games for a while. And I had a lot of games. So the games were like really slow. They were like just sporadic. But as soon as you start listing games, it seems like you start selling games. Isn't that weird? You list something, you sell something? I don't know. Is there a correlation there? I think so. But it is kind of interesting because it just kind of started picking up again. So, which is great because I am listing games. And I have a bunch more to list. I have, well, looking at a box of 60 over there, and I've got more out in the living room, which my wife would love for me to get rid of. We've got too many. I'm not going to list them all on eBay. We are going to do some sales on Dibdit, and just to let you know, guys, please come over to Dibdit tomorrow. Tomorrow, Thursday, is a giveaway day all day long. We're going to be giving away stuff starting, I think, at noon, all the way through the end of the day, pretty much till like 6 or 7. Our part, it's called Meet the Mods and Admins. It's basically, you know, I'm a moderator on Dibdit, very proud to be. I try to help out where I can, help out with people, try to keep the peace, so to speak, which is really easy over there because everybody's like family. But I try to help out, and that's what we do. But we're having a Meet the Mods and Admins day, and we're all going to have like a 10-minute session. So you're going to get to meet Sherry and I, and we're going to talk a little bit about what we do and who we are, and we're going to give away some stuff. So we'll probably do at least 2 giveaways on that show, and then at 7 p.m. Central. So ours is at 6:40 p.m. Central. So if you get a chance, come over there. If you've never signed up before, you can use Breeze Flips, and you can get $5 off your first $10 purchase should you decide to buy something, not just from us, from anybody. But it's, you know, free $5, guys. So come over and check it out. There's a lot of good sourcing opportunities. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on tomorrow. But we're at 6:40 p.m. Central Time. And then at 7 p.m. Central Time, I'm going to be doing a comic auction with my friend, the House of Collectibles. And we're going to be going together at 7 p.m. And we're just doing some $1, $5 start comics. So we'll have some nice stuff in there. So definitely come over and check us out and get signed up. And just, you know, it's going to be fun. At least come over for the giveaways and be part of it because we're making some fun things happen over there. So that aside, but so yeah, so it's going to be fun. Got to come over and enjoy it. But we've had some sales, some more coming in today. So like I said, I've got some game sales, but I'm going to probably sell a lot of those games on Dibdit in the next probably month. We'll probably do several auctions. I also have a lot of Blu-rays that are really good Blu-rays. They're not like just, you know, average. They're really good ones. So I'm going to probably do some of those. So we'll probably do a media auction. We try to have 1 to 2 auctions a week. I do one every week, no matter what. On Mondays around 7 o'clock, I do a comic auction. It's always fun time. So if you guys get a chance, check us out, guys. It's fun. But anyway, we're going to sell some games over there, but I have a lot to list, and that's one of the reasons I was trying to set this photo station up, because it works really well with ListEasier to take these pictures right directly into my laptop. Now, I did yesterday make a comment, and I want to make a comment back to somebody, and I want to look their name up because I apologize. I had it in front of me, and like in normal things. And yesterday, if I seemed really discombobulated, I think I started talking about one thing and then started talking about another and then went back to it. That's just my way my head thinks sometimes, guys. I'm moving and shaking about all the time, trying to get stuff done, and it's been a crazy week here. But anyway, Steve, I guess, yes, Steve commented, and he had a great comment. And I want to just say that I made a mention about ListEasier not being able to pick up 2 games, and he said that add a photo of text. I can either get it by writing on it or, you know, putting it on like a whiteboard or just making a snapshot off of my laptop and added that in as a picture with the names of there. and it will take that into account. So if I did like a lot of 3 games or 2 games, it just lists those games out, and it'll increase the likelihood of the listing being correct. That's great advice, guys. So thank you, Steve, for that. I really appreciate it. I'm definitely going to give it a try because I do want to use it for the 2 games. It's really hard in my photo setup to do 3 or 4 games, but I can do it, but I probably will do those differently. But the 2 game ones, I like putting them side by side. It works really good. So anyway, I'll show you that, but thank you for that comment, and I think it's going to work. So we're going to give it a shot. All right, so we did have some games that went out. First of all, we had another book sale. Oh, and this one's heavy. All right, yeah, it's an old one. It is a Playboy magazine from 1981, March. The twin sisters on the front. And it's got an interview with James Garner, who's no longer here. The worst prison riot in history. Well, a pool player's course in trick shots. There's some really good writing in here, I guess, right? And and the latest on rainwear, wristwatches, scotch, darts, and auto leasing from 1981. So anyway, interesting stuff. Those books are dwindling down. I'll be really happy when they're all gone. But, they weren't a bad buy. I think I've made my money back already on them. It was just one of those whims where I thought I'd try magazines, and it just happened to be those magazines. It's not that I would always buy them. I've never bought one in my life. So, but, hey, we'll do it. So I ended up getting $2.27 for that, and I got $8.99 shipping. Now, I was at $7.99 shipping, but first of all, this one is over a pound guaranteed. They made them really thick back then. So that's going to cost a little bit more. It's probably going to be a lot more, but $8.99 seems to be covering it. It is a challenge for magazines to ship because, one, you can't ship them media mail because they have advertising in them. So I had to up it a little bit, but for this kind of a book, that price is normal. I mean, typically these are selling, if you just look at the total price shipping and everything, $12 to $20. There's some of them that sell for a little bit more. I had them all priced at $14.99 with free shipping, and honestly, it wasn't selling that well. So again, I'm not saying free shipping doesn't work. I'm just saying it doesn't always work. I think sometimes people look at it and go, "Oh, $14.99 for that book." But they don't have a problem paying $2.27 for a book and $8.99 shipping. I might even be able to raise that up to $9.99 shipping. I don't know. I see a lot of people with magazines that do that. So it's a challenge. So it just really depends on the weight of the magazine and where it's going. If it's going to California, it just costs me more. So anyway, we'll see what happens with that. Sold a game. Now, it's in a plastic thing, and it's got no cover. So this is just a disc only. So I'll pop it up on the screen. But it is One Piece Grand Adventure for PlayStation 2, PS2. It's just disc only. It's in good shape, but it didn't have anything else. I bought this at Flee Across Florida last year in that big game buy that I did at this little stop along the way. And I think I've got less than $2 in those. So I did sell that one for $13. Came back, they sent an offer for $10. And then I was looking at it, and the games alone were selling anywhere between $15 and $19. Now, if you had everything, they were selling for $30 or $40. I've seen some out there that are a good price, but I've also seen some that were selling for $8 and $9. So the prices are all over the place on this game. So I really think it boils down to how bad do you want it? And I think the guy that bought it almost makes me wonder, well, it wasn't a guy, it was a lady. Anyway, kind of wondering if maybe they're a game seller just by their name. So anyway, I'm not going to say their name, but I just think that's kind of interesting. Sometimes that's the case, is that, they might be a game seller and they're picking it up cheap. And it wouldn't be the first time. I've done that many a times. I've picked up some games, and I bought a game at a garage sale last year, and off the top of my head, I can't remember what it was, but it had everything in it except the game. When I got it home, I was like, oh my God, because I looked it up, and just to look it up, because there was a bunch of games, and I bought a bunch of stuff, and that game didn't have the disc. I actually even went back to them and said, do you have the disc for this? And they're like, oh no, I'm really sorry. We can give you a refund. And I'm like, no, I'll keep it, because I knew it would sell, right? I knew eventually it would sell. So I went back and I just started looking for it and go, okay, where can I find this game? So I started looking it up on eBay, and sure enough, I found the game, and I paid 25 bucks for the game. but I'd only paid $2 for the box and everything that was with it, but I ended up selling it for $120. So I don't remember what game it was. It was an anime game. If I find it, I'll remember it sometime. But I just remember doing that, and I thought, well, I'm only less than $30 in, and I made 120 something bucks. So anyway, all good. So one piece going out, $13. They sent an offer for 10. I sent it back, and I just was nice and said, thank you for the offer. This is selling for a lot more, and it's still the lowest price out there on eBay. $13 was fair. I was fine with it. So, and I got $5.99 shipping for that. Last but not least, another game. This one's sealed. This is the premium edition of Mortal Kombat 11 or Mortal Kombat 2. I don't know what that is. If it's a 2 or 11, I guess it could go either way. Doesn't say on the back though. Yeah, it's either 2 or 11, but it's brand new. It was part of that buy that I just recently made, and ended up getting $15.99 for that. It'll get $5.99 shipping. So yeah, so that's going out. All local sales, not no international sales. It was an interesting comment too that Steve made, that he said that he had shut off his international shipping, and he feels like it's working better for him. Honestly, I don't doubt it. I mean, if he knows his numbers, that's great. I have to say, I don't know. I don't know if I want to experiment with it. You know, I shut it off for about 30 days and didn't see any difference. I turned it back on and got sales. So maybe it's really dependent on what you're selling, or, you know, the problem is, and here's the issue with that. I don't have a problem with you. If it works for you, great. And if you're using it, great. And if we could have some imperial data that would say this is what's happening, but eBay doesn't share that with us. eBay doesn't, they don't give us anything, right? So I have no idea where those clicks are coming from. And that's been the hardest part. I mean, if they would just show us in the traffic data, now if they're showing us somewhere and I'm not seeing it, but I go through my numbers pretty well. I go through the traffic and I look at it. I can't tell where the traffic's coming from. I don't see anything in there that indicates where the traffic's coming. I just see the total impressions. I see listing views, quantity sold, all that. My numbers look good, but it would be nice to know, is this one coming from international? Is this, you know, it would just be nice to know. It's a breakdown. And there is a spot up there, actually, you can, on the listing page, the performance page, you can actually select United States, but that's the only thing I can select. So I don't know. I think it's interesting because I don't know if you guys have gotten it, but I did get an email from eBay that basically was, let's see, where's it at? I might have deleted it because it wasn't that important to me. But I did get an email from eBay saying, hey, you know, here's your results for your advertising this month. It seems like they're really saying, here's what you can do, up your advertising rates. Okay, great. Yeah, sure, I could do that. But I don't see a reason to do that right now with my numbers. My impressions are up organically. My promoted listings are down. So I don't see a need to do it. I'm still going to keep promoting the way I'm doing it, 2 to 3%. I'm only going to promote items that have been on for a major length of time. And that's it. I mean, I don't see any need to do anything else. And I don't know. You guys, give me some comments. I would love to hear what y'all are doing about this too. There's got to be a way to figure out where you're getting it from, but I don't think there is on this, at least. I just don't see it in their information. Even the listing quality reports, I don't think really tells us where it comes from, because I do pull that on occasion as well, and take a look at that to see if there's any listings I can improve on. If you haven't pulled that, you can go to your performance page, go to your traffic, and you can pull a listing quality report. And it will just basically tell you how all your listings are doing. But I don't see where it's coming from. So anyway, I'd love to know more information on that. If you guys have shut off your international shipping and you've seen a difference, hey, leave a comment. Let's talk about it. I'd love to hear more information about that, because the marketing brain in me wants to know wants to know that information, just because that's my background, and I'd love to know more about what's going on. But yeah, I'm looking at the listing report. I don't see any information about where it's coming from, or as far as the information of how many impressions it's getting from offsite or oversight. I mean, you get an offsite stuff, but you don't get anything from like the location that it's coming from. So anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, so today, not a ton of sales, 55 60 bucks or around 55 bucks. I think $56 going out today. But I'll take it. Every day, get a few sales. I'm happy with that, guys. And, you know, that's part of the game. So I'm going to move over. I'm going to stop and move over because you don't need to see all the... Ooh, there's a mess in here, guys. I got boxes and comics, and it's a nice office behind me. At least I keep that nice, but everything else is crazy. I'm going to go over and show you my photo thing and what I've set up and talk a little bit about it. So we'll be right back. All right, I'm trying to figure out the best way to actually show you this. So I might have to move the camera around a little bit, but and I'll try to kind of turn it around so you can kind of see. But basically what you're going to see, and I'll just flip the camera around. It's a lot easier. So hold on a second. All right, so, whoops, now you see my comics. All right, so here's the basic setup that I have, guys. So I've got basically, here's the camera. This is the IPEVO V4K. So basically, it's a 4K camera. It does 8 megapixels. It takes really good pictures, to be honest with you. I have this set up right now on basically a foam board. And the foam board has got a hole in it. And there's a couple reasons for this, all right? One is it's very challenging to take pictures of anything that's shiny. So, and I think you guys have probably all experienced this at some point. You take a picture of something shiny, and then what ends up happening is you get your reflection in there. This hole basically reduces the shiny. With the black underneath, it's matte. It just helps that kind of take away the shiny. So if you're taking pictures of, say, graded comics or anything along that line, it just kind of makes a big difference. The software in this is actually fairly easy too, but I mean, as far as the camera goes. But what I did was, and I got some reflection boards back here. Now here's my problem, guys. I'll tell you what the dilemma is right now. I have too much light. These lights are great. They're eMart lights. I've put them in the comments before or in the show notes of what I have and what I use. They're great lights, but they put out too much light. And so as you can see, I've put some paper over the top to kind of filter it a little bit. To be quite honest with you, that's still not working. So I ordered some gel covers that will go over them. They're basically, in essence, they're gray. Okay, so they're negative density is what you call them, negative density covers. And a negative density being the darker they are, the less light that gets through. So it just takes the glare of the most light off, because these lights aren't adjustable. And the reason I like the eMart lights, guys, is because they plug directly into a socket. You're not using USB power, so you're getting full power. So without all this stuff here, they were great because I could just position them off to the side and take pictures of stuff, and it worked great. There was no shadow, you know, not very little shadow and issue and problems, and they're synced with like an iPhone. So, and this whole deal up here with the camera, if I decide that I don't want to use the camera and I want to move it off to the side, I can lay my iPhone on top of that and just use a clicker, which I have, and I can take pictures of with my phone as well. So it just depends on whatever I feel like using, but that works pretty good. Now these over here, what I've done is I had this just sitting on my lights and I decided that isn't going to work. I also have these reflection boards back here. They're white on the backside, silver here, and black. I'm trying to use that to kind of reflect the light off. But I was having this just set on the lights and it was precarious, right? So I thought, okay, I just thought about it yesterday and thought, you know what? 1/2-inch PVC, no problem. So that's what I've done over here. $20, I think it was $20 total, maybe $21. And I just got, these are 12 inches. And then basically 2 4-inch pieces at the bottom, and just, you know, fancy little, you don't even have to put these on, but I put the little legs on them and the little caps. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 T's, 4 bends, and just the pipes. So basically have created this nice little photo booth. Now I do have a photo booth set up. You can see I have lights up here, and I can use a lot of different things, but this has worked pretty well. And as far as what I'm doing with the games, it works great. So, you know, you can put a game in here, basically puts it in the center. And then if you kind of look, you can see on the system, once I put it in there, all I got to do is tap the key. Whoops. Well, I actually got to get it off of here. Sorry. All right, now, there we go. So just tap it and it takes a picture. Flip it over, straighten it up a little bit, takes a picture, open it up, take a picture, flip over the game, take a picture, and then I just close that up. And then normally I would put a tag. I would put a tag on the back of it and take a picture of the SKU number, and then done. Move on to the next one. Does great for that. It also does great for comic books, and I'll just throw one over here just to kind of show you. So all I got to do is go in and stretch it back out a little bit so you can see the whole book. It might have changed since I was sitting here earlier. Yeah, it's a 1-to-1. So anyway, but I can take that comic book out and take pictures of it and do the same thing. Just take single pictures. And normally what I do with a comic book, I typically take a lot of pictures with comics. However, if they're really new and I don't feel like I need to do, I can go this way and I'll flip it over, do the back side, and then open it to the front. A lot of the newer comics, I don't have to do a whole lot. You see that little glare right here? That's part of the problem that I'm having right now. And so, and then typically I always just take a picture of the center, just so people can get an idea of the staples and what's in there. Or if it was like a specialty comic with like a Mark Jewelers or something, you would want to show that. And then it would go back in the, it would go back in, and then I would just basically lay it back down with my SKU number and take another picture, and that would go in there, and that way I know where to put it. So very simple. This will do graded comics. However, it doesn't look great. I can show you kind of what it looks like because I got to stretch it out a little bit. But you can put a graded comic in there. And I think I have to actually stretch the screen out. So got to go to full camera view and show no limit. But you can kind of take it. So I have to adjust it. So the problem with the, and you see it's just too bright. So that's why I'm going to get that negative density stuff. But the problem with it is that for using this camera and this setup, I would probably need to, I can have spacers. I can actually move this up about, whoops, I can move this up about 3 inches, and then it'll have a little bit higher so I'd actually see more of the comic. Because right now, you can obviously see that it's cutting off the bottom part because it's not high enough. So it would have to go up a little bit more. I just lift the board to kind of give you an idea, but it would have to go up a little bit more. I have the ability to do it because I've actually got spacers in there. But that's what it looks like, guys. So the camera, like I said, is an IPEVO. It's a V4K. They make different versions of it. This one is $105. I put the link in the show notes if you're interested in it. And let's flip this back around. Hang on a second. Whoops. We'll flip it back around and we'll turn this back on. Here we go. All right. So, if you're interested in it, I put that in there for you guys to take a look at. Leave your comments. I'd love to know what you think. I mean, it's not by any means genius. I've seen these in various places. I've seen this, with the hole in the board. Actually, I've seen people that use the board and they'll put the camera behind it and put a little pocket in there, put their cell phone in there, and they'll take a picture through that hole. They'll hold the board up in front of their comic, because if you've ever taken a picture, and just look at the glare on it right now, guys. If you look at it, you can see the camera in here. You can see everything in there, right? That's what generally happens with these. And this is a not as glaring one as one like a foil. A foil just shows everything. And I have struggled and struggled and struggled. Well, I used this board. Before I did any of this, I actually had the board and cut out the hole and did all that with the camera, because I would just stand it up and use that to kind of take pictures of the items. So it works. So even if you just did that with the hole in it, it makes a big difference. Once I get the negative density gels, I will try it again and take a look at it. And like I said, I do have like extenders for the for this part right here. I have extenders for this, and I can raise it up just about, because it's just a little extender. I can raise it up about, I don't know, 3 inches probably. It'll probably go up about that high. And, yay high. And that's enough to get the whole comic, graded comic in there. So I've got my comics from the last CGC haul. I'm going to work on that video today. It'll be out tomorrow. But I got some cool stuff in there, guys. Now, you may not think it's cool if you're a raw comic collector, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that tomorrow. But that's another subject for another day. But I'm excited about them. And so I'm excited to get, some of them are going to go personally in my collection, and there's going to be some that are going to get for sale so I can sell them, get some money, pay off the CGC and get some more. So it didn't cost much. Honestly, all told, like I said, CGC cost were just about $800. And that's not bad. So not for what I got. So I'll make money back on, there's about 4 or 5 comics in there that I'll probably make the money back on, and I'm going to keep a bunch of them. And then I got some more to send in. So I'm trying to send in every 2 months. That's the goal right now, to kind of send them in so that I can keep a cycle going on those. But I'd love to hear your comments. What do you think of this? Do you have suggestions on lights? Because listen, so I personally do not, I'm not an artist. So the art genes from my children, both of my children and my wife, are amazing artists. My youngest daughter is a costume designer with an MBA. She has her master degree, what do you call it? An MFA, Master of Fine Arts in Costume Design Technology for theater. And she is like the manager of the Sarasota Ballet costume design department. And she is a fantastic, amazing artist. My oldest daughter is a cosmetologist, and she is an amazing cosmetologist. She is a color savant. This girl can do colors and stuff, and she is a very successful cosmetologist. My wife was an artist. She paints. She does all this stuff. I can barely draw a circle. So when it comes to lights and photography, I know just enough to be dangerous, but I don't know enough to do what I really want to do, which is take really, really clean photos. Because if you've ever looked at the CGC photos, they've got quite a setup. And if you go to CGC and you look up a book, they can show you the front and back. And I know a lot of people will just use those, and I won't use those personally myself, but I will take pictures and then use those as a, as an information in the listing is what I'm going to start doing. But I will definitely, I just think that it's there's got to be a better way to take pictures of these, and I'm sure there is. If I use my iPhone, I can actually take really good pictures of the graded comics. So I may just use that for those, and everything else this V4K, because it works really good, guys. So anyway, that's what I got today, guys. Not a ton of great new sales, but hopefully you guys like seeing this setup. Be on the lookout tomorrow. Sometime I will release the haul that I just got from CGC, and we'll talk a little bit about that and get some comments. Like I said, if you want to know more about what I have or any other parts, I think I've listed the eMart lights at one point. They may still be in the show notes. I put a link to the V4K in there if you want to look it up. There is a newer version of this one. I want to say it's like a V4K Pro. Or this one might be the Pro even, I don't know. I have to look it up. But this was the $105 one. I didn't want to spend a lot until I knew if I really needed it. And I'm not really sure that the new one does anything different, because the software is the limitation on this. I think on Apple, if you use an Apple, it has the ability to find the corners and reduce it down. Oh, and that was the other reason too, guys. I used the black matte because there's a contrast, enough contrast that I can actually just go in and remove the background if I want to. But I listed all those games the other day with the black. They look good, so they pop right off the color. So I don't think there's any problem with doing that. But I have done them too on just the wood grain that I have down here, and they look fine. But to remove a background, it's really easy to kind of do that with the black background. So you can do however you want. Experiment with it, have fun with it. Let me know what you do. Hey, take a picture and let me know. I'd like to see what it looks like and what you guys can do. So anyway, that's all I got for today, guys. Keep a lookout for tomorrow. We'll be back and talk about some more stuff tomorrow, at least the comics. I'm going to show the whole CGC thing that I got back, and we'll see what goes on the rest of the week. I'm David, Breeze Flippers. We'll see you.